Hey friends, welcome to my place. My name is Dave. We got Agua Brava. This is yeah, I got from Antonio Puig. I gotta say this is more of a classic. Okay, I would say kind of old school, but it's not as strong or powerful like the other ones. Okay, like the classic of like Azar por Om or Polo Green in the genre. It's not that strong, so I don't know if that was the intent by the master perfumer Rosendo Matu, who recently passed away. But this one is one of the lighter one in my collection, and I had no idea if it's because it was watered down. I'll be interested to know if anybody smelled this back in the day. It came out, I think, in the '68, around that time. And this one is more of a lighter one. I feel as if they already told you it's a eau de cologne, right? So I feel it's they purposely done that to be a lighter type of scent, maybe to counter the all the popular powerhouses, right? So I would think this is definitely made for the summer and the spring or autumn, not at all for the winter time. This is actually too light. Now the good point is this is a green type of scent, and I like that. I smell the pine, but also there's a bay leaf. Now the bay leaf is used at times on some of my favorite scents. Well, anyway, this is also oak moss, lavender, but yeah, it does not smell like the typical strong oak moss. Okay, some citrus, some vetiver and thyme. But from the beginning to the end, I'm not getting so much transition. I can tell there's a bunch of ingredients in there, but what I smell the mostly and also throughout the whole life of the scent is that pine, lavender, and bay leaf. Okay, now it's important because the pine and the lavender is pretty typical of the classics, but the bay leaf, yeah, I smell that, and that kind of twists it just a bit. Okay, make it just a bit different than the usual classic, and it's nice. All right, because the classic you always get the lavender, the moss, some citrus, and the pine needle, right? But the bay leaf, nice touch. This is very light, like I mentioned. I'll be lucky when I get an hour. So I usually use it early in the morning after shower, right? Just spray on, feel nice. I would imagine this work well as a splash after shave. It would be great because it does give a nice, comforting, non-harsh. So it's more of a smooth. Yeah, I would consider this to be more smooth than the typical classics, and in that it's a welcoming, contrast or difference. Yeah, I smell a bit. Yeah, there's some vetiver in here. Citrus, like I said, lavender. So this is 100 ml. You can spray away. The sprayer is okay, so. It's one of those wide sprayer. It come out as more of a. I think of it as more of a mist than the typical spray. So I don't like that as much. So I gotta really pump the juice like maybe 4 or 5 or 6 times, and it's pretty light anyway. I do get just a tad bit of herbal, but for those of you that is averse to herbal notes, no, this doesn't go that extreme. Everything is on the lighter side. The overall smell is pretty smooth and light to the touch, light to the nose. Okay, and it's extremely cheap. I think I picked it up for $15 or less. One of those cheapy classics that you could try and not feel waste of money, even if you don't like it. Now, first, since it came out a long time ago, I think a lot of people probably have some sort of experience with this. Either they have people that wear this, they wear themselves wear this, or they smell it in passing by. I would imagine this probably is pretty popular back then. Like I said, most of the classics that I've encountered are on the stronger side as far as power, okay, wise. This is on the lighter side, so I think they are purposely doing this for the hot summer day, and it worked well. I tried it actually. I wore it the past few days in getting ready for the review, and it's like I said, 100-degree outside. I wore this. It's not bad. It's nice. I don't smell any traditional sweet in here. Not like the vanilla, tonka bean, or anything like that. But it's probably from the green sweet and that is one of the better sweet that I really enjoy. If you ever walk on a trail in a forest or in some sort of park arboretum, you can smell the green, and there's a tinge of sweet in there, and that's super super. I think it's refreshing, uplifting, enjoyable, relaxing, and that's one of the reasons why I always mention about the green is being one of my favorite core or genre, because it brings out a lot of relaxation, and it's very very nice. So this is on the, even though it's smooth and light, is on the masculine side. You can tell there's nothing traditionally feminine about this. I mean, in a traditional sense, okay. But I would think that pine, the green, the herbal, typically is leaning more on the masculine side, okay. Now the cap is a plasticky type of wood. I don't imagine this to be real wood. Maybe feel like it is just a very top layer, so it's still nice. For that price, I don't mind. The bottle itself, hey, I am the beholder, I would say. But I like that. I like that it does have a little bit of a traditional feel to it. And, you know, I always say, every sense has its place, right? Time and place. So this one is when, I'll reach for it when I need something simple for a quick pick me up. And when I'm kind of, want to deviate from the modern sense, I reach for this. This is one of those that will not go too traditional, too classic. And the classic sometimes is so powerful that it's hard. I worry about the people around me, how they take it, especially people that don't use fragrance. But for this is going to be a lot easier, okay, because number one, it does not project too much. Number two, it doesn't have that power to punch people in the nose. Okay, so this is more of a safer one, and with that, I would imagine it's going to be a lot more versatile. Everywhere you wear it, just because people can't really pick it up that easily unless they're super close to you. And even I have sprayed it before the video started, which is about 8 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes. Yeah, it's already pretty light. I had to put my nose to the skin to really smell it. So you gotta really go for it when you do this one. Go like maybe 10 sprays. Yeah, so the pine, I had to mention again, it's not super green. I do like the punchy green type of pine, but this one is not as powerful, so it's on the easier side. I keep repeating that. So when I say the classics, the vintage, people might feel hesitant, but this is one of the easier one, and for that I enjoy that. It sits well with my collection. The classics, it has its place. And I'm glad that it is a cheapie. I was able to pick it up without hesitation, for about $15. That's fine. You might believe I saw this in a rack store. I did not pick it up in a rack store, but I saw it. So if you see it around, you know what this is, and you could decide if you pick it up or not, right? There's something else is, for some reason, okay, recently I went to a little one-day trip to a city in San Diego. They have an old town, and they have a quad of buildings, shops that represents what it was back then, early 1900s in California, where there's a lot of Spanish or Mexican heritage, the shops and all. And for some reason, I walk in there in one of the rooms where it was an old kitchen, a Spanish kitchen, and I smelled something. I don't know what it was, but I smell like this. There's I guess Spanish style, leathery, herbaceous, something like that. I can't really translate it into words, but it just had that feel, like an old Spanish, classical Spanish feel, maybe with some leather touch to it. And when I smelled that, it dawned on me, wait, it reminded me of something, and it took me a while, and I realized it's something close to this that has that feel in it. Okay, not exactly, but very strong vibe of that. And I thought, hey, it's cool. Now I'd be able to place a scenario with this. I was having, I was not really able to have an image of what this one smells like. A lot of time with my fragrance, I really appreciate it when the fragrance is able to place me or transport me to a certain place. or or scenario or situation or that is happy, or at least like leather. Sometimes I think about as being in a wild with the cowboys, right? So with this one, I was glad I was able to place it in the Spanish, atmosphere, the old classics. Okay, not the modern Spain, but the more of the old classics, the old building, and it's really cool. Anyway, just a side note. So that's the vibe that I got. So with that said, it is pretty unique in my collection. I don't have anything that is exactly like this or too close to it, and I'm glad it is a deviation from the classic powerhouse that I have. So this is on the lighter side, and yet it still carries that essence of the classics. So I thought, hey, that's what I see, what I find this to be, and I'm glad. So bring it to you what I've been trying and using. And the only downside, like I say, is a very light concentration. Eau de cologne, they let you know. They're not trying to fool you. So they tell you what it is. Use it maybe after shower, after shave. That's what I use it for. You just spray away, and I enjoy it. It's very nice, relaxing type of scent that's different than the typical modern scents, and I appreciate that. I like variations, right? I like varieties. I always mention that. So, with that said, I hope that is helpful. If you have this, if you have smelled it in the original formulation, it came out in '68. So if you have smelled it in the '70s or '80s, please drop a comment. Let me know. I'll be very interested to know what it smells like. Was it like a powerhouse? Was it very strong with the mossy notes? Because I don't smell strong moss here. Okay, I don't smell that right now. It's mainly that greenness, that little bit of leather, but the main thing is the lavender, pine, tiny bit of moss, and that the bay leaf. I love that note. It makes it a little bit more exotic. Okay, and I like that. So it's great. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know. As always, thanks. Oh, remember, thumbs up, subscribe. I think it really helps out on the YouTube thing. So please do me a favor, and I'll see you next time.